Hello there. Non-attributable government sources are saying that our government may be considering a compromise deal regarding the ECJ and EU citizens' rights post-Brexit. Firstly, though, everyone, apart from those living under a rock of course, will by now be aware of today's announcement of the royal engagement between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I personally want to wish them all the best together. Now, post-Brexit, the UK will automatically regain control of its laws and courts, and no external court will have the right to overrule our Supreme Court or tell us what our laws should be. But the only way we could fail to achieve this is if through an act of craven, self-harming stupidity we were to agree to being ruled over by a foreign court, writes leading barrister and chairman of Lawyers for Britain Martin Howe in Brexit Central. In his piece, the QC says that any agreement that allows what would by then be a foreign court to have any such control over the UK and its institutions would be quite extraordinary. Not since the unequal treaties between the Western powers and China during the 19th century has a self-governing sovereign state agreed that the rights of foreign citizens within its territory be regulated by a foreign court, he writes. His article points out quite simply that the UK and EU will be separate entities after Brexit, with the ECJ being a wholly foreign court with no UK representation. Therefore, the two sides are on an equal footing, so if the UK agreed to put itself under the control of the ECJ, we would uniquely abase ourselves in international relations and place ourselves lower than any other state with whom the EU has treaty relations. Nor would this be temporary. The rights of EU citizens will last for the lifetimes of the citizens resident here, and for the lives of their children and possibly grandchildren. So this submission to foreign jurisdiction, if it happens, is effectively for keeps, wrote Martin Howe. And he ended by saying that any such arrangement would be a rather squalid and abject surrender, and that describing this as a compromise is sadly on a par with Whitehall's habit of weasel words and outright mendacity whenever abject surrenders have been made to ever-encroaching EU powers in the past. That is something we must all fight against and ensure never happens. Since the vote to leave the EU, sterling has taken a bit of a dive against major currencies, with Remainers gleefully pointing the finger and telling anyone who would listen that this meant the end of the UK. Well, The Independent reports today that the UK hotels industry has done quite well out of this fall in the pound. The drop in the value of 10% against the dollar and 13% against the euro has boosted the UK hotel trade by attracting a 9% increase in international visitors to the country in the first half of the year. Not only that, more Brits are opting for a staycation. This has resulted in an 18% drop in the number of UK hotel insolvencies. Good news all round for the hoteliers. The Independent does, of course, insert one downer with an EU angle in the report by saying that, due to fewer EU nationals wanting to work here, the hotel trade is faced with staff shortages. I would put that another way. This opens up great opportunities for the 800,000 unemployed and economically inactive young people we already have in the UK. Finally, despite what some people may want you to believe, the fishing industry does want the UK to take back control of its fishing grounds. For example, a guest speaker on the Nigel Farage LBC slot said that he was worried that the UK fishing community might be sold out during negotiations that might include a transition period. Nigel Farage asked David the Caller, And David, are you concerned? Because it seems to me Michael Gove and George Eustace are slightly running away from us this morning. Are you concerned that if we stay within the CFP rules for a transition period that could last for years, that there may not be much of your industry left? And David the caller replied, well, we don't want that. The fishing industry wants to take back the 12 miles and certainly go to zonal coastal state, which is out to 200 meridian line at 2019 when we leave. I do think that's going to happen, but I think it's very important people like yourself hold the government to account on that. Well, we're trying, replied Nigel. It has smelt to me for quite a while now that the UK fishing industry may well be on the negotiating table today in just the same way it was when we joined, and it got shafted back then. I personally believe that without a true Brexit, the UK fishing industry is finished. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video. And also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.